My favorite show is on.
Show got that real.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to WhyORU. This is episode number 2 of season 5. We are moving forward this season, and I am so excited for this season. And today on the show, we have Mr. Jeremy Harmon, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I got it right. We've been practicing, but
Right.
and literally, my mind just went blank right before we got started. So I just had to make sure I got it right.
You got to think harmony, like what Jeremy was saying, and
Ah.
just the E part. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Jeremy. So we're so excited and so glad that you're joining us for this episode. So before we jump into these questions, what we want you to do is just introduce yourself to the people. Tell them your name, where you're from, your classification, and maybe if you have a life slogan or something that you live by, you can share that as well.
So I'm Jeremy Harmon, like they said. I'm a sophomore. I'm from Richmond, Virginia, and my life slogan is your past doesn't define you, but how you grow from it does. So
Mm-hmm.
First, what I always want to know, what is in Virginia?
Well, I live like in the country, but I live like 30 minutes from the city.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of art museums. There's a lot of museums, like history museums.
Yeah.
I mean, we're like 2 hours from DC. I don't know.
And so is that how you like became more like an artiste guy? Because we see your swag, we see the content that you produce. It's some quality stuff. So is that kind of how you came about, just your home setting, your hometown?
I mean, yeah. I mean, my mom was a singer back in the day, and so so it was like always there in my family. Like she would just sing all the time, and she had to take violin. And I always liked to draw. Like my dad used to draw, and he taught me how to draw a little bit. So I just always liked art. It was just always something in my family.
Yeah. I also see that you're a part of a group. Also, it's like GOA or something.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that.
Okay, so GOA basically stands for God overall, grace overall, and greatness overall.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, it's just like a collective of like people who are artists and like make music. I hope to grow it into something more in the future. But
sure.
Right now we're working on like a collaborative album with people like who from our school and some people who don't go to school but who live in Tulsa. God, basically when I visited OAU the second time, God gave me like a vision for it. But I thought it was like something like way down the line. And then I went to, he was trying to get me to start it sooner. I was like scared to because I was like, I don't know anything about doing nothing. And I went to a TC conference and like Uncle Todd's thing was like, start it now. Like get it, like do it now. And I was like, okay, I'll start it now.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That's good.
I've noticed that this generation, they like to do these collective things. And so I think like Maverick City and a whole bunch of other people, they're just starting these things. Maybe Trinity and I could start one, we could do a duet.
You see, I will be your hype man. I'll be the ad libs. That's what I'll be.
You'll be takeoff for amigos.
Right. Well, Jeremy, you mentioned how. Oh,
no, go ahead.
You can go, Joe. Okay. You mentioned how, Jeremy, when you visited ORU, God told you about the GOA and like the whole production and everything. So I want to talk about how like God brought you to ORU first. So tell us a little about your story and how you came on campus.
So my dad sent, I didn't even know about ORU until my dad sent me here.
Mm-hmm.
He sent me here for a college weekend like 3 years ago. I was like struggling. I was like doing the best in life. I was being a terrible child. And so my dad was like, I remember he took me out to breakfast early in the morning before I went to school. He was like, hey, I want you to go to this college weekend at this Christian school. And I didn't want to go to the Christian school because I was like,
Right.
my reason, one, I just didn't want to, but my reasoning for it, I was like, if I'm a Christian and I go to Christian school, that's not going to help me like build myself up. I'm just going to like, I'm going to be, people everywhere in the world are like, it's not a Christian environment. The world's not a Christian environment. So I need to go into a place that's not a Christian environment, and that'll help me get stronger. Which makes sense, but it's also dumb at the same time now that I think about it, because going to a place where you can mature in your faith and have people around you that are like-minded can help you grow, instead of going into a place where most people are not that way, and they'll probably more drain from you than give to you. So he sent me to the college weekend. He convinced me to go, so I went. And I really felt God here when I was like during the worship, during the word. It was like the most I ever felt God at that moment in time. Like, It was crazy. And God was like, I want you to go here. And I was like, okay, you want me to go here? I'll go here. And this is actually the only school I applied for. So, yeah.
And it worked out.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
Jeremy,
good.
tell us, how do you feel freshman year when you finally got on campus and you were settled in and you realized, like, hey, I'm not going back home. Like, I felt God when I came to campus worship and college weekend, but now I'm actually stuck here. Tell me what emotions and how did you feel?
I want to say I was scared because the summer before that, I was at home all summer. I was working at a summer campus, so I was getting used to being away from home. But it was definitely like a different feeling not being able to just like even though I was not home, like home was still like an hour away. So just being 19 hours away from home definitely with me, like I could just like go home anytime I wanted to. So it's definitely a new feeling, and definitely I had to get used to like the area, since like I've grown up in Richmond my whole entire life. Even now, I'm still like not really used to Tulsa. Like it's very different from Richmond. Like just like the whole area, even the city. Like especially like when you grow up somewhere, like all the places, like everything. Like I don't know like even like the secret places, like the secret spots, like the cool places you can go to. Like I don't know the places down in Tulsa like that. So it was definitely like a frightening experience, just not being able to know everything. And I like to be the plug and be like, yo, I know where to go, but not know. Yeah, so it was frightening.
I can tell you this, that in Tulsa, everything runs along the river. So, Riverside, and you got South Louis, and then you have, I think, what's next? Yale, then Memorial. So everything runs along the river, and then you got 71st, 81st, 91st, and then 101st. So whatever turn you make, you just know that you're on one of those roads. You'll get back. And so that's how I learned. And so I can remember a time we were going to the movies, and we actually got lost because I went east instead of going west. And my friends was like, I didn't turn on the GPS because they're like, we're just getting a car and Joe just be driving. And then I was like, oh, well, it's okay. I see Memorial. We'll make a left on Memorial. And we finally got there. But that's how I learned my way around Tulsa.
It was an adventure. When you get lost, don't think of it, oh my gosh, I'm lost. Think of it as an adventure. And
that's
then
what
you won't be
Israel
scared. Did. Exactly. You won't be scared of nothing, Jesus.
Free.
Be having a good time. It'll be a memory. But Jeremy, you talked a little about how like when you came to Tulsa, you were kind of like little worry and a little like, oh my gosh. But what were some challenges that you faced before coming to Oral Roberts University?
Plenty. Like just a year before, like it's like a time like.
That's up to you. If you.
I definitely struggled with. I would lie a lot. Like I was like I don't know, like I for no reason I would just like be lying for like dumb things.
Right.
I don't know if I can say this. I was a little bit of a hoe. I don't know if that's all right for me to say. I don't know if that's all right for me to say.
No, you're good.
Busy. You were busy.
What?
I said you were busy.
Yeah, I was busy.
Yeah.
I definitely struggled. Like I would try to like, I wasn't good at like communicating my emotions and like my feelings. So I would go to things that weren't helpful, but helped me in that minute and just to feel all right, even though after I would feel even worse, but at least for that moment I felt good. I definitely just like, I struggled like really connecting with God. Like I didn't like really, like I was trying to get close to him, but I didn't know how to. Like I was like,
Right.
How am I supposed to get close to this guy who knows everything about me and like is everywhere and like the most powerful person ever? Like how can I relate to someone? How can I have a relationship with someone like this? So I was just struggling in most areas of my life, to be honest.
Yeah.
Wow. So was it hard when you got on campus? Was it a hard challenge for you to start adapting to what we call the honor code?
It wasn't hard because I didn't really most of the stuff I didn't really do. I didn't really drink. I drank before, but I didn't really like alcohol like that. I didn't smoke. And I was trying to be more pure. So most of the stuff on there, I was like already trying to like do for myself. So it wasn't really hard for me. It was, I guess there would be times where it was difficult. Like I wasn't perfect at things that I did like mess up on during the semester. But it wasn't something that I was like, I'm gonna have trouble like following this, I'm gonna have trouble. And at that moment when I came on campus, I was really trying to. It's like, I need to like get closer. I need to get back to God. So I was really trying to like build my relationship and really trusting Him and really following Him. Because I knew that that's the only way that I could get through life and such like that. So.
Right. So what was that moment when you were just like, God, I need you, and I really just can't do nothing without you?
Sheesh. I had plenty of those moments. Like I'll do that, I'll say that, and then a few months later, I'll totally forget I said that, and then then I'll crash back down and be like, "Oh God, I need you again." And but I think like the most defining moment of like, I need God. Was probably like the second part of second semester of my first freshman year. I remember I was in the prayer tower. I don't remember exactly what was going on, but I remember I was stressed about a lot of stuff and a lot of chaos was happening in my life. And I was like in the prayer tower. I was yelling at God. And I remember I was like mad, but I remember at the end I was crying. I was crying and like yelling. And I remember at the end I was just like, God, whatever you want, like I don't care, like whatever you want, I want it, like I want to follow you. I want you more than like anything, and I know that if you're with me, then everything's gonna be all right. And I was like I know that I'm upset about these things, but I know it's not my will, but it's your will, and I want your will to come through in my life. I think that's the moment I was really like, I really need to. I want to follow God forever.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's good.
So Jeremy, did you grow up in like a really strict Christian home?
What do you mean by really strict?
Like, you got some Christian parents that are like, yeah, I want my children to experience life. And then you got some Christian parents that's like, nope, Sunday through Saturday, you're at church. No, don't ask to go to the football game. No, don't ask to go nowhere to the parties. You bet not change it from the gospel station. Like, were your parents like strict, or were they just normal Christian families that let you experience life?
It was I'd say they weren't strict, but they definitely weren't the other one either. I'd say they did whatever they could to build have a relationship with God. Like we would read the Bible after every meal. My dad would have like a little message after every time we ate dinner. We went to church on Wednesdays and Sundays. Whenever there's like a church event, usually we would be there usually. And they would make us go to church. That was just I was never gonna say I'm not going to church. Like what they would look at me like, you're not going to church? What do you mean you're not? Yeah, I had to go to church. So I would definitely they weren't. It wasn't like they were beating like God over us. Like they wanted us to have our own relationship with Him. But it wasn't. They were gonna make sure we had our own relationship with Him. They were gonna do whatever we could to make sure we had our own relationship.
The reason I went there is because, just hearing, how you really buckled down to God after your second semester of being at school. I wanted to know, what was your relationship like with God before you got to school? Like, how did that look?
I say I loved God, but I didn't think He loved me. And that made me not really seek Him. I thought all the mistakes I made and all the things that I've done, just was make Him hate me. I was how could He love me with all the stuff I've done? And so that just made me not really seek Him. I wanted to, there'd be times where I try to read my Bible on occasion, but I just never really buckled down and said I'm gonna read my Bible every day. And I felt like it was a strange relationship, kind of. I always there was never a time where I was I don't believe Jesus died for me and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't but I wasn't following God in any way. But even though I knew I knew everything, I knew the Bible, I knew stuff because I went to church, so it was it was foreign to me. It's just I didn't, I wasn't practicing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when you got on campus, and I'm gonna take this kind of off course a little bit. When you got on campus and you settled in, how was your student life and how were you interacting with the people on campus? Were you a little standoffish, or you were welcoming, you wanted all the new friends? How was that?
Definitely not. If I can
No?
interject, definitely not. I noticed Jeremy on the first day of his time being on campus. He is very much an extrovert, and you will know his presence from 10,000 miles away. Okay, but
Oh my
go
God.
ahead and answer the question, Jim.
Yeah, I was doing the most. The first semester I was trying to meet everybody and do everything I could. I was trying to become friends with everybody and just be out there. I was never in my room. I was always out.
Right.
The only times I'd be in my room were between classes, and that's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you really just have to do. I mean, if you're a freshman to come on campus or just anyone new on campus, you really just got to branch out and put yourself out there. I mean, it's a Christian campus, so it's not like people are gonna, anywhere you go, it's not like they're gonna blatantly say, I don't want to be your friend. Yeah. I feel like that's really those movies. Why are you coughing, Joseph? I know I didn't do nothing like that.
You ain't do nothing like that, but I mean, y'all kind of were standoffish, you know what I'm saying? It took y'all a while.
Think so.
It took y'all a while to come around. Don't try to lie
on the air. Don't do that. Don't do that. But yeah.
Jeremy, I wanna go back to something that we said at the beginning. I think the first thing that I noticed about you was your swag. I mean, one day your hair would be red, the next day purple.
Please lift up your hat. I just want to see what color you have. Blonde, guys. Yes, the people who are not on Zoom who can't see this. His hair is blonde.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm gonna make it lavender probably next year.
Oh wow.
And
Oh wow.
and the thing I admire the most is like any color that you dye your hair, I mean, it
Mhm.
doesn't look bad. Like I can't do that.
Right.
Like
And it's only certain people who can truly pull it off. Not everyone
right,
can do
Well,
right.
thank you. I appreciate that. That's nice.
that.
Where did you find this style? Where did this come from?
Um, it's a mixture because my style's changed. Like it used to be like in middle school, I had a whack style. Like I was trying to be, I don't know what I was trying to be, but it was whack. And then I had like a year where I wore like suits.
Come on now, Suits.
Like yeah, I wore suits a lot.
Men in black.
Yeah, I got a lot. For my birthday, like all I asked for like was suit stuff. Like I got a bunch of ties and like
Wow.
and stuff like that. Which I mean, I think suits are still cool, but I don't want to rock them all the time.
I went
Yeah.
through that phase.
Yeah. I think it's just the thing. Like suits are nice, but I feel like the best suit you have to be like rich to get like a really good suit. So if you don't have that much money, it's hard to get like a really nice suit. Suits are expensive.
Right.
I think it was a mixture. Like when I really started getting into like rapping and such, like just like the culture of that.
Yeah.
And just like one of my best friend back at home, he makes clothes. So he kind of influenced how I dress. And just like different people, anything that I saw, anything that I was like, yo, that was dope. I'm like, I can do something with that. And that's basically it. Yeah, just like I think it just grew over time. Like my middle school was really weird, and I got like a little sophisticated, and then got random. Now I feel like I have like a certain type of things that I like, such.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you in any clubs this year, or do you want to start a club?
I'm not in any clubs this year because I don't really know what's going on with clubs. To be honest, I didn't know exactly like, exactly.
But I seen you post this one thing where you were like you wanted like to have a prayer group on campus, or like
Yeah.
so tell us a little about that and how you thought about that idea, or if God gave it to you.
Well, 2 semesters. The first semester, God was like, start Bible study, and I did. It went for like a few weeks, but it turned out to be more like people just arguing about the Bible. Didn't really like it. And so this semester, God was like, I want you to try it again. So I was like, okay. So I was like, I proposed it, like, I want to be part of a Bible study. We've had one meeting so far. I think I don't know exactly how I'm gonna try to do it with like coronavirus and such though. So I'm trying to think exactly how that could work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Maybe like over time.
Yeah.
It'll work itself out. I don't know.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's still really hard, and plus you don't want to risk anything, so
Right.
Definitely.
Well, Jeremy, we have two more questions for you before we get out of here. And one question that I do want to ask you is, what advice? Well, before I go there, actually, let's ask this. What lesson did you learn during quarantine and this whole coronavirus pandemic?
Definitely that to rely on God more. Definitely that, and definitely that. Like I needed to get to know myself better because the two things that like I really learned over quarantine and like yeah, I definitely got to know myself a lot better during quarantine. I kind of like how much quarantine was terrible, but it also was great because it like forced me specifically to like mature. I feel like when I think even when I think of like a year ago, I don't like sometimes I don't even recognize like that person. Not that it was like a terrible person, but just like I don't recognize like different things. So I definitely I learned to rely on God more and to get to know myself more and to love myself more. And yeah, and to be more unapologetically me and like not care necessarily like if people don't like the things I like and such like that.
That's it. That's it. And the last question, I want you to just think of something that you can share to any incoming freshmen or incoming transfer students next year, this next semester, and give them a little advice in what you would have wanted to know when you came in.
What would I want to know? I'd say like one, just don't be afraid to like go out and do the things you want to do, like be who, like make the friends you want to make, and create those connections and like hold on to them, because like it's good to have a core group of friends, and like make sure you have people around you who you can trust and like rely on and who are there for you as well and help build you up in Christ, and stuff like that. I'd also say make sure like go to the worship services. You go to the worship services and like find a good church that you can help build you up and like try to like really grow your relationship with God. Like the best thing that you could ever have in your life, if you can like get a real foundation and have a real relationship with God. Those are things I would say.
Yeah,
that's so good. Thank you so much, Jeremy, for being a part of the show today. Before you go, the most important thing, other than your testimony and why you came to this university, the most important thing is, tell us, how can we stream your music and people can listen to your music all around the world?
So you can stream our music on all platforms. It's on Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, Amazon Music, whatever. I don't know what other platforms for, but it's on all those. It's Tabos, which means one who's never without joy, and spelled THABOS. And yes, that's it.
I thought it was Thabos. I was saying Thabos this whole time. I'm sorry to cut you
No,
off.
baby.
But I was saying Thabos, and no one has corrected me.
I told you to lay off that stuff.
People thought it was like the boss or like something like that. But yeah. It's CC2. It's CC2 for that's the languages from.
Come on now.
Wow. Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard him. You can find it on all musical platforms. Please stream his music. It's great, and I enjoy it. And so we want you to be blessed by it as well. As we said on the last episode, that we love supporting our young people, our African American brothers, and so stream his music on all musical platforms. YVA merch, follow them. Don't forget that they're going to have their website dropping on September 17th. You don't want to miss that. And lastly, she didn't ask us to do this, but our sister, Kashana Johnson, just released her brand new book, DNA Exchange, and you can buy that on her website or Amazon.com at KashanaJohnson.com. Please stream their music, their clothing line, and the book. We want you to support them. It will really mean the world to all of us because we're winning together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's all that we have for you on this episode. It's your boy, Joseph Thomas.
And it's your girl, Trinity Caesar.
Peace. We love you.
Peace.